Hey guys, it's the Urban Investor here, back with another video, and today we are going to look at FirstBlood. Now, FirstBlood was one of my coins I recommended in my top 10 coins to buy during the impending altcoin dip. Now, a lot of you guys in the comment sections have been asking about FirstBlood or wanting to do some further research, and in that time I have actually opened up a position and delved into more detail in terms of FirstBlood and what it is. So I thought, why not share it with you guys so that you can see how much huge potential there is in this project, in my opinion. Now, as always, this is just purely my recommendations and my opinions. It's not, financial advice. So as always, please do your own research and make as much sort of knowledge and different opinions as possible in terms of finding more information before making investment decisions. So that's always important. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So FirstBlood, I've loaded up here on the screen. We can see currently trading at around about $1.5 and that's down 16%, probably largely driven by Bitcoin sort of holding or struggling to break the 15k mark, but that's for another day. So let's look at the charts. We can see with FirstBlood we had this massive spike in June July time. I believe this was due to Bittrex being one of the first major exchanges to take on FirstBlood. However, since then, comparative to Bitcoin anyway, it's been at nice lows, hence why I've recommended this as a good buy opportunity. So currently it's trading around about, we can see 11k sats. I think when I did my video top 10 coins, I'll link that in the description, it was trading around 12k sats, and I said at any point at these lows is a good entry point, because look at the potential. It's gone all the way up to it's gone 100k sats there, my maths is correct. So there's huge potential in my opinion, and we'll delve into in terms of the whys, also in terms of what FirstBlood are trying to do. So before we delve into the project, let's just look at the financials quickly. We can see a market cap of around about 130 million, decent amount of volume, 5 million volume in 24 hours, which is good. You'd always want at least $500,000 of volume, otherwise it's susceptible to pump and dumps. Good circulating supply, very low in my opinion, only 85.5 million, 93.5 million total supply, ranked at 177. So I think this has got huge potential in 2018 to test the 100 and the top 100, and we'll see why in a second. So we can see roughly, if we move to the last rolling 12 months, we can see back at this time last year it was trading around about 6-7 cents. Where are we now? $1.52. Now if we do some quick maths, we can see how big this jump's been. So look, it's gone up 22 times its value, so that's over 2000%, hence why I believe this will easily go up to $15 in my opinion. Again, this is purely my opinion, and that's probably more like a 1,000 or 10xing, which is more reasonable and realistic in my opinion. So we can see there's huge potential for FirstBlood. If we quickly look at the markets, we can see, as I said, it's on Bittrex. Most of the volumes there. OKX is holding the other sort of volume, and then you've got smaller residual amounts. So what is FirstBlood? Let's jump into the website and see what this project's about. So we can see FirstBlood is an esports platform. So what is esports? We'll go into that in a bit more detail in terms of the market. However, esports is essentially e-gaming, so it's competitive gaming. So that's something that's been huge as of late. I think back in 2010 when I was finishing uni, this was probably just picking up in terms of competitive gaming. You had Counter-Strike, I remember from uni, and Call of Duty, obviously. So since then it's been huge. There's been huge growth in North America and Asia, and we'll see why it's so relevant that Asia is growing later on in this video. So I did actually go into the beta to test out, because currently you can FirstBlood is in beta and you can test out the platform. So let's just quickly log in and just show you guys what the interface is. Now for you guys to be able to test the beta, you need to create an account. I've already done this. You'll have to have a Steam account as well, and then the way it works is it combines the two, and then currently, as you saw, Dota 2 is the only game available at the minute, and we can see here, and then you can essentially, you know, play games, and then this gives you an indication of how things work and how you use your tokens. I'll go into a bit more detail, but you can see it's a good interface rather. It's being used in terms of the beta. It's being developed and improved. You can play tournaments. There's, you know, ranking systems. So yes, I think for me, as always, it's always good to go into a project knowing there's a feasible product. Now there's so many projects out there where it's still in concept, or it's not being adopted or anything like that. So that always, you know, has a huge risk comparative to having a product that's already built, because you already know that these guys are being serious. They're you know, working at it. They're the product's being used, and there's more likelihood for future growth and less risk of things going wrong. So that's the interface. I'm going to log out now just so that we can go back to a website. However, do check it out. You can download Dota 2, which is free, and you can play this game. Now I did have a bit of a go. It's not really my kettle of fish. So I mean, I'm more into my first person shoot ups and things like you know, Call of Duty and FIFA and stuff like that. So I don't really play too much, given I don't have as much time now. However, you know, do check it out and see how it works, as it's always you know, good to check out the product before you invest in something. And as always, if you're a gamer out there, then you know, it's always of interest to check this out. So we know FirstBlood is in terms of what the product is essentially an esports platform. So how does this work with blockchain, and how does this work with utilizing blockchain? What problem is it solving? Because just because it's a you know, a real world example or use case in you know, outside of blockchain, does it really apply to blockchain? Are these guys just using blockchain just to get their name out there? Let's find out and figure it out from this website. Let's see what's available. So we can see currently it's been featured on major sort of gaming channels, so that's good for exposure. As I said, there's tournaments, there's ranking systems, there's a queuing system that's been developed. Okay, so this is the first time we've been sort of mentioning blockchain. So far, I think before we click on this link and find out more information, I think it's fair to say this website is more of the platform, the front end for someone to go in and log in and play the games. So just bear that in mind. This isn't set up to be an investment website. There's no information you know, about buying the tokens, or you know, investing in the tokens, or you know, pushing that in your face. So I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. For me, it shows that they're more focused on you know, the product and getting the product and being easy to use that product, and the interface being easy to use and easy to log in and stuff like that is more important to them. So I think for me, that's a good sign that this isn't a, you know, a scam or anything like that. So let's click on here and see how it utilizes blockchain technology. So we can see, powered by blockchain, we are building a decentralized esports reward platform that brings together gamers from around the world and play and challenge one another. So how it works: match played, each match history is stored on blockchain, smart contracts, each match information is stored on blockchain, rewards from activity by witnessing matches and voting in juries, users and rewards. So again, all good points, but there's nothing really here to show us, you know, how does this apply to a blockchain, you know, why do we need the blockchain for esports? Why is the current system broke? So actually I had to go and delve in terms of other sources, because it's clearly not on the website. This is all you have in terms of blockchain. This, clearly this is not good enough. So let's have a look and click on here. So this is one, this link here is on Bitcoin Talk. This was when they were having their crowd sale. However, there's a few valid points which I just want to go into. So you can always, you can see it's on CoinMarketCap, you can link it from there. And if we scroll down, we can see how it sort of works, which is useful. So we can see here, okay, so how are the tokens sort of utilized? You can say with the tokens, you need it to play the matches. You can earn tokens by just witnessing the games and being on the jury in terms of getting rid of or solving disputes. And then you can partake in tournaments or even start your own tournaments. And then you've got a referral program as well, where you refer people and then you earn tokens. So that gives us a bit more information, but still doesn't answer the question. State of the market. So we can see the market is pretty huge in terms of growth, and in terms of how much potential. I think I've got another link up here which we'll go through later, but sort of fits in with this sort of numbers. We can see from 2015 to 18, it's growing exponentially, or not exponentially rather, but huge in terms of growth. You've got 1.9 billion from 250 odd million, so that's huge in terms of growth. Now let's go into what the current state is and how blockchain is actually being utilized. So currently how the e-gaming platform or esports works is someone or a couple of people, let's use this example, play a game, and then people are have to report the outcome of the games. Now this is easy. If someone gets pissed off or someone wants to commit fraud, then there's going to be a dispute. There's no way of knowing who's who's telling the truth essentially and who's lying, because there's no automation. Then you have to get another person involved. It slows it down. You've got to investigate, etc. So this is one of the issues. Also, what currently happens is that you have to use a third party. So you play a game or you enter a tournament, you win the tournament, and then you're relying on this third party to provide you the funds without taking a cut themselves, or there's hacking issues, security issues. So there's a huge reliance on the players to trust the central escrow service. So what's the solution? What are FirstBlood trying to do, and how is it utilizing the blockchain? So we can see, as we said, they're a platform that lets esports players challenge each other and win rewards, and made possible by smart contracts and oracles in the blockchain. So how does it work? Okay, so now we're getting a bit more information and meat here. So players select the games they want to play and stake their tokens, essentially what they want to play with. They are then met or invited to play the game. So there's a matchmaker, or use a matchmaker to find an opponent, a bit like Call of Duty for you guys that play out there. You log into the lobby and then you wait for the system to find a match, and then you play the game. So then the game finishes, and then the oracle fetches the results using smart contracts. The proceeds or the rewards are given. So let's take a step back and understand how this works. So yeah, so I think this is the end of their sort of story. So in terms of how it works, so let's take a step back. So basically what you need is you need the tokens to compete. So that's essentially their currency to partake in the games and the tournaments. So say, let's for example, we're entering a game with someone. So we put in 1,000 tokens, they put in 1,000 tokens, and the winner takes all. They take 2,000 tokens, right? So what happens is you put 1,000 tokens in. Those funds then go to the FirstBlood smart contract system. So that's their decentralized escrow essentially. And then once the game is complete, witnesses, or rather during the game, witnesses connect to the API. They analyze results, and they confirm back the results to the smart contract system. So this is how you can earn rewards by just watching the games. You can take part in being in that process to verify the game. So a bit like with Bitcoin, with the ledger, you have miners verify the transactions. This is a similar example. So this is another application of blockchain, essentially, where you know, witnesses can verify the transaction, in this case the game, and then once that, if assuming there's no dispute, then what happens, the funds or the reward, the 2,000 tokens in our example, automatically goes to the winner. A small cut goes to the witnesses for their part in terms of verifying that transaction or that game, and that's the end. That's how it sort of works, how it's utilizing Ethereum smart contracts. So it's a bit more information. Again, I'll put the links in here where you can find out a bit more information. So this jury system here is basically what happens if there's a dispute, if someone doesn't agree with his result. There's a again a jury review where these guys will basically verify if someone's telling the truth, someone's cheated, and then from that, then that can sort of resolve the dispute, and then the funds are gone to the right people or the right person. So yeah, so that's essentially it in a nutshell. Hopefully that makes sense, how the tokens are used, how they're utilizing the blockchain. So yeah, so I think going back to our original question, so I think from that we can see, okay, maybe not the website, it's the most user friendly in terms of explaining it, but we've seen another source where it explains how it works, and from my view anyway, I'm happy. There seems like there's a niche, there's a problem currently in esports, and FirstBlood are there to resolve it using smart contracts, using a more efficient process. So let's continue with the website. So let's go back and see what else is there on the website. So again, this is just more about the product, not really about investment advice. We've already clicked on that. So if you go to about, so this tells you more about FirstBlood. As I said, it's basically trying to test your skills, being able to compete in esports. Right, so now we've got some information about their team. There's no links here, as I've seen in previous websites, where you can go directly to their LinkedIn profiles. However, you can Google these people. So again, do your research, find out about these people to get more information. However, I've gone and just had a quick look at the CEO, Joe Zhu. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. So I managed to find him on LinkedIn, and we've got Joe Zhu here. So if we scroll down, we can see this chap has got a vast amount of experience. He's someone who's clearly smart. We can see based in Boston, pretty much. You'll see that FirstBlood is both Boston based as well. So uni in Boston, Chinese and English languages, and looks 2014 CME Group Global Trading Challenge finalist. So that's quite a massive achievement. I know that's very competitive competition, so being a finalist is a massive plus. Certified anti-money laundering AML specialist, again another certification there. Started off as an intern in City, CEO and founder of Against Free. So this is really early. If you look at, I think when he left, sorry, these were parts of companies that his organization founded. I misread that as going to uni then, so apologies for that. But yeah, so long story short, we can see he's founded various companies, groups, a vast array of experience, and more recently, which is more important for me, is we can see CEO and founder of all options. So this was about 4 years ago. So this company is essentially developing virtual currency derivatives markets, if I can get that out, and working with banks, leveraging cryptocurrency and blockchain. So for me, 4 years ago, this was just when sort of Bitcoin was sort of taking off, and cryptocurrencies. So this guy here, Joe Zhu, clearly has been here a fair bit of time, seeing it through before the monumental rise as we're seeing right now. and as a result not one of these guys who have just jumped on a bandwagon and trying to make a buck. So clearly he's been there a long time, he understands how it works, and we can see CEO and founder of FirstBlood. So definitely do check that out. Again, I found another article here on him, going through his sort of motivations and why he's doing what he does. So again, definitely do check that out if you want to find out a bit more information about Joe, the CEO. Now let's go back to the website. Got careers page, features. I think we've already been on that page. Terms and agreements, that's a TNE, contacts, partners. So this is more about how to be a partner, and then we've got the brand. Okay, this is just about the brand images and stuff. So I don't think there's any more in the website. So we can see it's very light in terms of investment advice, but as I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing. This is more focused at the gaming platform and making it easier for people to log in and use and play the games. So I've actually done some further digging. If I close this here, and you can see I found Joe's or FirstBlood's Medium page where they've given more of an update. I know loads of companies, I've saw this with Populous, rather than using the website, are using blogs and Medium to basically give updates. So this is a great source to find more information. So before we actually delve into this, because I think this will tee it up in terms of nicely why I think there's future potential, because we'll go through the roadmap, let's have a quick look at the market. So esports, what's the potential? So currently we can see 700 million. We saw on their own page on the announcements link from CoinMarketCap, it said around about 750, so not far off from their sort of sources, and we're seeing 1.5 billion by 2020, and this is newzoo.com. Now these guys have done a report. It seems like it's very established, is reputable, because I've seen it quoted in BBC and a few other news outlets link or sourcing the same numbers. So we can see here, again, have a read. I'll try and link everything in the description so that you guys can see, but for me there's a couple of things that are really important. One, huge revenue growth, 35% growth CAGR between 2015 and 2020, so that's at 1.5 billion, and this is going to be the key message for me here as well. 15%, 7%, 22% in China and South Korea alone, Asia, and then if we scroll down, 51% in Asia Pacific in terms of enthusiasts, so audience. So you can see people actually watching this stuff, not only just competing, but there's a market now to actually watch these tournaments, which is obviously crazy in terms of not being part and just watching people play games essentially. However, having said that, I watch sports, football. I'm not really playing football, although I play for a team and do that on the side. However, when I'm watching the games, I'm not partaking, so the gamers can say the same to me in terms of it's basically the same, so I'm not going to knock them for that. But again, the key point here, 51% of esports enthusiasts in 2017 is Asia. So again, there's more in terms of the revenue splits. So why is Asia so important? Now I found this article here, and we can see again some good press for FirstBlood when they launched Dota 2. Again, a bit more in terms of what it's about and how it works, but here this is key for me. Most recently, if I go back again, this was launched or written in October, end of October, so only a few months ago. So we can see most recently, and perhaps most significantly, FirstBlood partnered with China General Administration of Sport to host the Chinese University Esports League, CUEL, in which players from thousands of universities compete in each year. If successful, it could be a very big step for integration of the blockchain technology into esports industry. So huge potential for FirstBlood here by signing this partnership. And again, going through this blog, we can see Joe goes through a bit of an update in terms of what they're trying to do, so do check that out. I think it's very useful. See how physically what they've done over the year, so you can see some good stuff here. And again, Joe alludes to this, announced partnership with MOL to support China General Administration of Sports. So I think they're going big in China at the minute, and again we'll see the roadmap, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We saw that. What do we see? 51% in terms of audience, 22% in terms of revenue, or okay, 15% for China, but you got South Korea there. But you get my point. There's huge potential in FirstBlood, in my opinion. We can see what they're focusing on 2018 here, and again, this is the big one for me. If we read this, immediately after our Dota 2 integration, blah blah, we anticipate to integrate 2 to 4 games in 2018. Now, what happened in 2017, right? So 2017 they integrated Dota 2, and the price went from 6 cents, okay, peaked to about $2.7, right? We're around about 1.5 at the minute. We saw, you know, 4,000% growth. 4,000% growth. So what do you think will happen when they integrate 2 to 4 games? They only integrated 1 game in 2017. So I think 2018 is going to be huge for FirstBlood. That's purely my opinion, but guys, you know, do the research yourself. We can see these guys have got huge potential. They're under the radar at the minute. I don't think there's any good you know, press at the minute in terms of in the crypto space. I haven't really seen many videos on YouTube that are covering this or covered it well, so hopefully this is useful for you guys. But you can see a whole bunch of other stuff that they're working on, but for me that was a key one. And then here, 2018 will be the year of global expansion. As we spearhead to 2018, it's hard to neglect one of the largest esports and gaming markets in the world, see Asia and Southeast, right? Again, linking or relating to the article that I mentioned, Newzoo, 36% over the next 3 years, and we are down to capture and capitalize on regions starting Q1 18. Now we're already in Q1 18, so in the next 2 months there could be some huge news. So yeah, so guys, you know, I think I'm gonna really end it there in terms of that bombshell. You can see 2018 is going to be huge. Just quickly in terms of just TA, I'll jump here. Usually I would do some TA, but for me I'm not really going to do anything because you can see we're at the lows. I'd said the same in my top 10 altcoins to buy in the dip. By now I think these levels are good levels to buy. I did open up a position at the minute. I'm probably going to see what happens with the Bitcoin rise, and I'll probably dollar cost average as I go on, but I have personally opened a position because I think there's huge potential. Even from just a TA point of view, you can see there's huge upside. The downside risk is low. So for now, for my opinion, these lows, $1, you know, 50 is, you know, is huge. We saw it hit $2.26 you know, just 5 days ago, right? So I think this dip is huge compared to the Bitcoin. It's low, so I think for me this is a great level to get in. There's huge potential in this project. We saw, you know, 2018 is going to be a huge year for FirstBlood rather. So that's it, guys. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I don't know how long it is, 28 minutes. I didn't intend it to be that long, but I'm just going to end it there. Hopefully it was useful. Let me know what you guys think. As always, please keep this likes, subscriptions and comments coming, and I'll catch you in the next video.